Few people know that the oldest traces of human presence in the Lublin region have been discovered near Puławy, in a campsite of primeval hunters dated to 30,000 years BC. Some flint and mammoth bone artifacts have been found. With time, the hunting weapon was replaced by stone hoes used for farming. Rich soil and the vicinity of the Wistola River guaranteed permanent supply of food. The river was not only a source of water, but also a natural traffic route. In later ages, an overland route that connected the east with the west of the Polish state gained importance. The natural intersection of land and water routes stimulated development of trade. The name Puławy was probably derived from the word pulwe, which in Polish means crossing water. Some historians maintain that it originated from the word puwa, which is the name of riverside meadows. The 16th century trading and fishing settlement developed under the shadow of Kazimierz Dolna. In Góra Puławska there was grain and salt transshipping points. From here, goods were sent to many places in Poland. The settlement owes its advancement to the Lubomirski family. In 1671, construction of a Baroque residence started on the picturesque Wistola's bank. 35 years later, the residence was burned by the Swedes. The year 1732 was the beginning of the Czartoryskis' family rule in Puławy. A new chapter in the history of the settlement was commenced by the marriage of Adam Kazimierz Czartoryski with Izabela née Fleming, and the family's move from Warsaw. Puławy, at that moment called the Polish Athens, became a competitor for the capital city of Poland. The converted classicist palace surrounded by the landscape park and the patronage of Princess Izabela attracted to Puławy eminent minds of the Polish Enlightenment. Many distinguished thinkers, writers, poets such as Franciszek Dionizek Niaznian, painters like Piotr Noroblin and Zygmunt Fogel, as well as a musician and composer Franciszek Lesle, visited the palace. After Poland had lost its independence, Princess Izabela, driven by her patriotic feelings, built the Temple of Sibyl. The temple was designed by an outstanding architect, Christian Piotr Aigner. The antique stylized structure became the first Polish museum of national mementos. Nearby, the Gothic house was erected. It housed domestic and foreign collections, including such famous paintings as Lady with an Ermine, painted by Leonardo da Vinci, or The Merciful Samaritan, painted by Rembrandt. Picturesque ruins, caves and sculptures appeared in the park maintained in the style of a romantic garden. The garden was intended to be a symbol of free, untamed nature. Princess Izabela gathered many exotic plants there. A classicist orangery in the form of the Greek house completed the whole image. The park in Puławy became famous in Poland and abroad. Until now, it has been a live monument of landscape architecture. The golden period of Puławy came to an end with the defeat of the November uprising. At that time, the Russians confiscated the Czartoryskis' estate and the family emigrated to Paris. Since 1842, Puławy had the name of Nowa Alexandria in honor of the wife of Tsar Mikołaj I. The epoch of coal and steam brought to the settlement on the Wistola River the construction of a new wharf made of brick and a new railroad connection with the capital. Since 1866, the village of Nowa Alexandria was the seat of district authorities which had been moved there from Kazimierz Dolna. 3 years later, the village advanced to the status of town settlement, and in 1906, on the strength of the Tsar's order, ukazii, it obtained municipal rights. Since then, the town has had its own municipal government and budget. The invader decided to further develop Nova Alexandria in order to win over its inhabitants. In a short period of time, the population doubled and amounted to almost 10,000 people. The authorities installed street lamps and constructed public wells. The town's budget did not exceed 17,000 rubles. In May 1916, the Austrian and Hungarian invaders reinstated the original historical name of Puławy. The period between World Wars was expected to be a crucial period for the town's development. The town was included in the plan of development of the Central Industrial District. The intention was to develop a chemical industry there in the 30s. The plan was thwarted by the Second World War. After the cataclysm of the war, the town came back to life. But this time in the socialist reality. Puławy was slowly reconstructed. The situation changed in 1960. Pursuant to the decision of the Council of Ministers from December 19, 1960, the construction of the nitrogen works, a fertilizer production plant, was started. One of the reasons for locating this project in Puławy was the vicinity of the Vistula River, which supplied water necessary for production. The new chemical conglomerate plant attracted large numbers of employees coming with their families. Puławy lost its small-town character. In the old centre, a new town was created. Small houses were replaced with housing developments. New roads, schools, shops, and offices were erected. During one decade, the town's population increased from 10,000 to over 40,000 inhabitants.